Here are 5 signs indicating you don't have to break up from that relationship. Number 1, because the journey is still far. There are some things that you may not know, but it is known by God. There are futuristic events and blessings that God wants to give you that you have to patiently wait for God to give you the things that He has prepared for you. But when you are just too hasty, when you are just too quick to think God is not responding to your need, when you are always thinking you are just want to have the fun of the time with everyone that comes around on a random option for you, when you think you have your life and you do what you think will please you, that is when you will have to think there are some things in your life that do not need the influence and the involvement of the Lord for you to do them. God is infinite in His wisdom, God is beautiful in His art, and all-knowing. So if there should be anything that God wouldn't want you to do in your life, that is to make mistakes that will lead you into a bad life. And when you lead yourself into a bad life as a result of the decision that you can make, then it will be all about regret and pains. You want to break out from that relationship because you think you are not getting the things you wanted to get, because you think you are not given the chance and the liberty to abuse opportunities and time. So you want to get a test of life from other perspective so that you will live the life you want to live. Apparently, it is a good one, but you have asked yourself some good and sincere questions like the decisions that you want to take. Is it God's will for you? Do you have full knowledge of the ends, and is God telling you to do it? That is how you will know what to do next. But if your answers and findings to those questions are opposite and contradictory, then you do not have any other options than to stay back in that relationship, because the journey is far and you have to build capacity for you to have and become the real things that you want to be and have. You want a relationship without troubles and heartbreaks in it, then you have to work it out. Nobody has been made unless God prepares them for you, but the truth still remains that you have to do the will of the Lord for you to have all you want to have. The reason you are having those experiences that you think are not fair and good for you in that relationship is because you have to pass through those refining fire to become the best lover ever. To be a blessing to that your lover and spouse, you have to experience the pain, the tough chords of misunderstanding. You have to fight hard to keep what is yourself. You have to work out that relationship to become what God wants it to be. So if you do not understand the reason, you do not have to break up. This is one reason that must keep you, because the journey is very far. So you need to exercise some beautiful patience for it to materialize in your life. Have it in mind that God has not forsaken you. Know it. God will not let go of you on any way. Number 2, because you have not heard from God. Sometimes we act in assumptions. Many times we think God is not saying anything. That means you will have to go on with what you want to do. It does not work that way. Do you know that God may want you to break up on that relationship or do what you want to do, but He may want to first give you an order to do it before you do it? Your timing may not be God's timing. Your approach may not be God's approach. If God has not spoken to you, if God has not given you the green light to break up, then you have to stay in that relationship to know the counsel of the Lord in your life. If you want to break up and you have a feeling of resistance in your action, that means there is a force that is holding you from doing that, and when you are insisting on breaking up, it may not result well on the end of everything. That lover of yours may not have the full capacity that you want in a lover, but if you have not heard anything from the Lord, you may not have any good reason to break up. God wants to amend things for you. God is working in you to refresh and reshuffle things for your own good in that relationship. So you have to wait on the Lord to know what God will tell you. You do not even know if you are the problem here. You do not even know if you are the one that have to work on yourself to make your relationship work. Hearing from the Lord before you act eventually makes your life a smooth one, without any wrong decisions, because God will not lead you into errors unless you do not do what God has asked you to do. Number 3, because there is still a future for that person. You may have concluded that your lover will not make it again in life because of the mistakes that they have made. You have given up on your lover because you think that they are not taking corrections, and you come to conclude that you may not continue with that person and there is no future for you both because of the consistent reoccurring wrong attitude. Now, can I tell you this? It is not just that person, it is the devil. The devil is fighting your future through that person. The devil is trying to give you a bad time and a tough relationship so that you will give up and break up with that person, so that you will miss out from the blessings and the glorious future that God has prepared for you. It was God that brought that person to you. That relationship was God that instituted it from the beginning. So you don't have any reason to say you want to break what God has done. Though the time may be tough and the desired results may not be realistic yet, that is not the reason you should break up and want to move away from the responsibility that God has given you. The reason you do not have to break up with that lover of yours is because there is still a future for that relationship. There is a future for that lover. God is not done changing people. The torment may be too much and may have lasted for a long time, but God is saying it will not take him any long time to change that lover and put your lover and your relationship on the right path of life. Don't give up on your lover, because the dice is still rolling and God can change anybody at any time. Number 4, because good things don't come easily. One thing you do not know is that loving someone is not as fun and soft as your heart may project it. The feeling of love you have for someone is a burden to see that person better and great, and not to destroy or exploit that person. Exploitation is lust, while sacrifice is love. You do not go into a relationship with someone you love with high expectations. Your expectations will be the point of your struggles and weakness in that relationship, because that is where the devil may try you from. You want and expected this, but the devil will make a scare from your lover. That is when you start to complain and feel disappointed in that person. But you have forgotten that love is not asking for anything, rather love is giving everything. So when you give, you do not have to expect in return. That the devil may not have any legitimate areas to fight you through. So you do not have to break up with your lover because things are bad for your lover, because what you want to see and have in that relationship are not what you are having. Rather, you have to stand and create what you want. Because you must have anything good, then you must be ready to work for it. Good things need your effort. So if you want to quit that relationship because you do not want to put the effort, then you have not love in you. Number 5, it is a wrong and weak decision to break up. There is this feeling you have when things are not working out the way you want it to be. That is when you just have to decision to let go as soon as possible, so that you don't waste time and resources. Giving up shows you are weak. Quitting means you are not ready to fight through and will. It is possible you have what your lover heart by standing firm and not giving up. By showing serious interest in that person and ensuring that your lover's life is blessings. In that way, that person will not have any reason to let go of you or treat you with options. All these are indications that you have to stay and not go.